Throughout history, the midwinter season has been marked by various cultural traditions involving a gift bringer who delights children and adults alike. These traditions, steeped in mythology, folklore, and religious practices, reflect the values and customs of their respective societies. This class delves into the historical development of midwinter gift bringer traditions, examining the similarities and differences across cultures and regions. The concept of a midwinter gift bringer can be traced back to ancient times, when various civilizations celebrated the winter solstice and the return of longer days. These celebrations often involved feasting, merrymaking, and the exchange of gifts. While the core concept of a midwinter gift bringer is widespread, the specific customs and representations vary significantly across cultures. The most influential figures in the development of midwinter gift bringer traditions is Saint Nicholas of Myra. Born in the 3rd century in what is now Turkey, St. Nicholas was renowned for his generosity and kindness, particularly towards children. His feast day, celebrated on December 6th, became associated with gift giving. Over time, his legend spread throughout Europe, evolving into various religious traditions. The integration of St. Nicholas into Christmas celebrations was a gradual process influenced by the cultural exchanges and many religious practices. In the Middle Ages, the Feast of St. Nicholas became a precursor to Christmas, with children receiving gifts on December 6th. As Christmas gained prominence in Western Christianity, the gift-giving aspect of St. Nicholas's feast day was incorporated into Christmas traditions. Welcome to Lesson 2 of our college-level class, dedicated to teaching professional Santa Clauses how to create and maintain their most authentic Santa look. Whether you're new to this festive role or have years of experience, this class will hopefully provide you with the valuable insights into wardrobe selection, assembly and storage, and others, along with the importance of personal hygiene, and finally the care and feeding of Santa's beard. Let's begin with wardrobe selection. The most popular variations of the modern professional Santa Claus suit, from tradition to elegance. The modern professional Santa Claus suit has evolved over the years, reflecting various cultural influences and historical styles. Among the most popular variations are the traditional suit with fur down the front, the Coca-Cola suit with buttons down the front, and the royal or continental suit with an ankle-length coat over a shirt and vest. Use a good quality moisturizer to keep your skin hydrated. Pay special attention to areas prone to dryness. Sun protection is very important. Apply sunscreen when outdoors to protect your skin from harmful UV rays. And grooming. Trim facial hair regularly to maintain a neat appearance. And use gentle products to avoid irritation. Consider the following. Beard oil moisturizes the skin and beard, preventing dryness and flakiness. A beard balm provides hold and control, making it easier to style the beard. Shampoo and conditioner. Use beard-specific shampoo and conditioner to keep the beard clean and soft. I use a leave-in conditioner called Scotch and Porter. And finally, combs and brushes. Use wide-tooth combs and boar bristle brushes to detangle and smooth out the beard. Today we will delve into the best practices for using your voice and mannerisms to embody the character of Santa Claus, whether you're at a small family gathering or a large public event. Let's get started. Santa's voice is one of the most recognizable aspects of his character. It should be warm, hearty, and full of joy. Practice your ho-ho-ho to ensure it sounds genuine and uplifting, as it is the cornerstone of Santa's vocalization. In addition to the ho-ho-ho, develop a range of vocal expressions that evoke the spirit of Christmas, such as a jolly laugh or gentle chuckle when interacting with children. Santa's mannerisms should reflect his jolly and generous nature. This includes a hearty laugh, a warm smile, and gentle gestures that convey kindness and love. Remember to maintain eye contact to create a meaningful connection with your audience. Inside voice versus outside voice versus can you hear me on the roof? Santa's voice must adapt to different environments, from cozy living rooms to bustling malls to vast outdoor spaces. Understanding the nuances between an inside voice and an outside voice and a projecting voice ensures that the character is heard and understood in any setting. Practice modulating volume and tone to achieve versatility and ensuring that Santa's voice is neither too overwhelming nor too faint. Techniques for effective voice projection, such as breath control and proper posture, play a crucial role in maintaining vocal strength. Additionally, performers should learn to adjust their vocal delivery based on the acoustics of their surroundings, using techniques such as sound bouncing and echo management to optimize clarity and presence. In this week's module, we'll be taking a deep dive into the behavior and mannerisms that make Santa Claus the jolly figure so beloved by children and adults alike. I'm Santa Rick Irwin, and over the next 30 minutes or so, I'll be guiding you through the essential gestures, movements, and physical demeanor that embody the spirit of Santa Claus. This lesson will provide a comprehensive understanding of how to portray Santa effectively, ensuring you bring joy and magic to everyone you encounter. The very essence of Santa Claus is captured in his physical presence. From the twinkle in his eyes to the gentle sway of his belly, every detail matters. Let's explore these elements in more detail. Santa's laugh is deep, warm, and hearty, resonating with joy. To achieve this, you need to practice making your laugh come from the diaphragm, ensuring it's robust and deep. Something like this. Ho, 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 ho. Today we're exploring the magical world of storytelling and imagination. This is by far the most important skill set a professional Claus can develop. In fact, it is so important that entire Santa schools have been built around this topic alone. And not just for the obvious reasons, as in your clients will expect it, or it fills time during your visit. In fact, there has even been discussion of an entire future semester of Winter Watch devoted exclusively to helping professional Clauses develop their core storytelling strategies and then build out their resource library and repertoire. As a professional Santa Claus, your ability to captivate children with enchanting stories will spark their own creativity, signaling to clients that you're not just a guy taking pictures in a red suit, which in turn makes your visit more memorable for old and young alike, and guarantees the client will want you back. But now let's talk about setting yourself up for success. You know those gigs where everything just flows smoothly? That's not Santa magic. It's preparation and clear expectations. So let's talk again about preparation. I know you're busy, but spending just 15 minutes getting ready for that 1-hour gig will save you so much time and stress during story time. Have those questions ready in your book. When you're prepared, you can focus on engaging with the kids rather than trying to remember what comes next. But the real game changer is setting clear expectations. I learned this the hard way in my first year of Santaing. I thought kids would just naturally know how to interact with Santa. Spoiler alert, they don't. You may need to teach them. The good news is that children as young as 5 have already developed tools that will help. This workshop is part of the FORBS Member Resource Library, and it's free to all members and associates of the Fraternal Order of Real Bearded Santas. I'm Santa Rick Irwin, and I'll be your guide for the next 45 minutes or so. This was the answer to a question put to me during the pandemic by a BBC anchor during an on-air interview. From a professional standpoint, do you think there's any difference between playing Santa and being Santa? I thought about it for a second, and I responded, I think you become Santa the day it hits you. What began as a one-time favor for somebody, then turned into your favorite part-time job ever, has somehow become your favorite thing to do. From that moment on, you are Santa. The holy grail of the Santa world would seem to be media work. And I've done more than my fair share of commercials, TV shows, motion pictures, web promos, etc. I even have my own IMDb page. But before I reached that point, I spent years growing my client list and promo reel by doing various corporate or municipal events, such as company holiday parties, civic Christmas pageants, tree lighting ceremonies, parades, etc. But to get to that point, I had to do what nearly every Santa has to do: family home visits. After more than 2 decades in the red suit, I have come to group Santa home visits into these 4 categories. So let's take a closer look at each one. I love to brag to reporters or anyone who will listen that Forbes has quite demonstrably improved the quality of Christmas for anyone who celebrates this holiday. Thanks to us and other organizations following our example, the designer bearded Santa has all but disappeared from the family's Santa photo. In fact, that photo is now just as likely to be taken in the family's own living room or a parent's company party, as it used to be down at the local mall. Today, we'll weave those threads into a tapestry which reveals the holy grail of Santa work: corporate and media events. As we dive into the exciting world of professional Santa engagements, let's focus first on municipal and corporate events. We'll explore event types, expectations, contract negotiations, and strategies to build a thriving Santa career. Later, we'll share a few insights for those with their eyes set on the peak of Mount Santa: movies, television, and commercial work. To give you a richer perspective, we'll include commentary and advice from several veteran Santa trainers who specialize in these events. Let's get started. Professional Santas can find themselves in a variety of event settings, each presenting unique challenges and opportunities. Here are the most common event types you might participate in, excluding home or office visits. For a number of years, one of the biggest events I would do each season was the company Christmas party for In-N-Out Burgers. They actually had 3 parties: one for the Northern California employees' families, one for their Texas employees, and the granddaddy of them all would take over the Ontario Convention Center year after year. There would be a full-scale carnival going on in the parking lot with a Ferris wheel and other rides, and every year, about a quarter of the convention center was converted using pipe and drape into a long hallway of Santa booths. They would place nearly a dozen professional Santas in those booths, and event volunteers would escort each family in turn to see the next available Santa. With somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 guests at this event, it still took us the entire day to work our way through to the end of the line, with one Santa usually selected to stay a bit later for VIPs and stragglers. Ultimately, this event fell victim to its own success, outgrowing the Ontario Convention Center and then the Long Beach Convention Center. Their last extravaganza had to be held at the Santa Anita racetrack, and that's when the company decided to go in a different direction. Now, Santa Claus performers, the holy grail of their professional acting careers would be a role on a popular TV or internet series, or that holiest of all the grails, a recurring role in a Christmas film franchise like The Santa Claus or Christmas Chronicles. But let's face it, most of us have about as much understanding of how to make that happen as we understand string theory. I mean, I've heard of it, and there are clearly experts who make a living at it, but other than occasionally wondering what it must be like, most of us never dwell for very long on how exactly we might start doing it ourselves. Well, my fellow jolly gents, I'm glad you made it to the end of this semester, because this module is all about making that dream a reality, if you're willing to work for it. But first, let's debunk a few of the most common myths about beginning an acting career. Beginning an acting career can be both an exhilarating and daunting prospect. Countless aspiring actors enter the industry fueled by dreams and passion, only to be hindered by their own misconceptions. Here are the 5 most common myths surrounding the start of an acting career, and the truths that dispel them. Here's Samuel L. Jackson's top 10 audition tips for aspiring actors. Jackson advises actors not to go into an audition room looking for a job. Go in there to present your best self to these people, because if that job is yours, you'll get it. Go in there thinking, wow, another great day to have an acting opportunity. I'm going to act for some people today, not just in a mirror or in a class. I'm going to act for some people who can do me some good. With that in mind, Jackson offers the following audition tips for aspiring actors. Number one, always be off book, which means you know your lines. It's conscientious, it's professional, and it proves that you can learn the lines. If you can't learn them to try to get the job, why would they think you're going to learn them once you've got it? So prove to them that you can learn them by learning them. Be there. Be off book. Number two, bring depth and range. Have an emotional depth and range when you go into the room. Even if you're supposed to be loud, angry, and abusive, there are depths, and there are dimensions, and there are channels that you can use to make that interesting, and something more than just outright shouting and aggression. Figure it out.